thank Jim Bell. He is our producer and engineer. Jim Bell is in New Hampshire. And we are coming through Armed Radio, armeddigitalmedia.com, and armedradioglobal.com. Welcome to our show. It is a beautiful fall day in New York. It's been so nice. It's like it was 70 degrees today. It was just stunning. So we want to welcome you. We want to welcome all our listeners, people that listen every week. We can't tell you how much we appreciate you. So, Leah, why don't you run that little promo of ours?
Wise.
Go for it.
Let me run up into the room real fast. Okay. Here.
I know that I'm exactly who I was meant to be. I'm a big fish in a small pond. Got my days free and the nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am.
Hi, Leo. Hi, everybody
Maria.
out there. I see right away. I see Lori Towers. Hello, Lori Towers. How are you, honey? And handsome Leo. Yes, Leo is very handsome. I want to remind everybody that this Monday, Susie Campanero and I work at the Stonewall Inn on Monday nights with Chauncey Dandridge on Lights and Sound, and John Bronson now. John Bronson has joined us on piano. He's amazing. So thank you. Leo is running my schedule underneath there. Thank you for doing that, Leo. So this week, this coming Monday at the Stonewall Inn before our shift, which starts at 8, but from 6 to 8 next week, October 18th, we're going to have Alexis Hunter. She is the author of Joy Lansing, A Body to Die For. And we're having a book signing. There's going to be a panel. There's going to be all kinds of, I'm going to create all kinds of great drinks, and it's going to be a wonderful time from 6 to 8. That is a free event, so please stop by and say hi to us upstairs, Stonewall upstairs, okay? And then we're going to continue with our wild and wacky night because, Susan Campanero works with me, and I never know what the hell is going to happen there. Today I saw Catherine Salvio. I picked her up at the airport. She is in New York City. We're so happy to have her back in the city for a few days. Hi, Catherine. How's it going? We were just talking about Coco and how cute Coco is. Coco is Catherine's dog. She's adorable. And Rena Crinelli Berge, my cousin from Massachusetts, she is popped on, and it wouldn't be a show without Rena. And look who else has popped on. My friend Brian Johnson from Stoneham, Massachusetts. Brian, we should have you come on our show some night. Are you ever available? Because Brian's an amazing DJ and works all kinds of events in Massachusetts. Brian, I would love to have you on some night if you're up for that. So let me know, buddy. Private message me, and let's get that going. Brian also has the cutest grandson you ever saw. He's adorable. Okay, so we got a lot going on this week. We have a potpourri of things happening. Okay, yes, Brian, thank you. I would be honored as well. Oh my God, Brian, look who it is. Ed Kutu from Blade Salon. We all went to high school together, Brian and Eddie and I. Ed Kutu from Blade Salon in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. We love Eddie and we love Blade Salon from Rocky Hill. I love their Instagram page. If you are in that area, please go and say hello to the folks at Blade Salon. They do the most amazing work. So, Eddie, how was your week? Leo, how was your week this week with the kids?
My week was so much fun with the kids.
Everything's back, right? Back now?
No, not up here. Unfortunately, I have to say, and I don't want to down anybody, but in the past week and a half, we had 3 deaths up here due to COVID. And we've had the highest percentage in our school district for our elementary school, which is in the news. So it's not been a pretty sight, but I'm vaccinated. So I've been pretty good at work, and we've been good. The kids that come in are so adorable. They love to eat their mask.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
So we got to replace their masks a lot, but otherwise, that my time with them, coming from food and beverage, to working with innocents and working with people, I want to raise good guests, good restaurant guests.
Yep.
So that's my influence. So
And it's great to start with kids, and you do a great job, and we appreciate all our educators out there. Did you see what's happening with Southwest Airlines?
yeah, I did.
They're a mess. And guess why? Because some of their crew's not vaccinated, so they can't fly the plane. So hundreds and now it's up to thousands of people have been stranded over the last few days because of Southwest. And look, you know what? You don't want to get vaccinated? Great. Then stop working. Then go and do your own thing. Go live on a farm, but you cannot work in the general public, and you certainly cannot.
I will say that it amazes me in working with kids how you, as adults, are supposed to show them to follow the right way, to do things for others, to play nicely, to be polite, and
Follow the rules.
Follow the rules. And you have no lip from anybody. I was just telling somebody that I'm working with, up to fifth graders, and they know that there's rules. They know that there's people that are adults, and they just follow because they don't want to get in trouble. And we have a happy day. What a wonderful, fun,
It's
happy
not
day.
a big deal. It's not a big deal. Do you remember when the smoking ban in New York happened and everybody was up in arms? Up in arms. And I remember thinking two things. One, I wasn't smoking anymore at the time, and I was so relieved. I was like, this is great. I'm going to be able to breathe again because I was getting sick all the time. And number two, my second thought was like, oh, this is really going to hurt business. Highland Port is genius.
Genius.
Just joined us. And you know what happened? People started going outside to smoke. They made new friends outside. Also, a ton of people quit smoking, and business didn't drop.
Let's take it back. Remember seatbelts? Oh my God. I can't wear a seatbelt. I can't drive when I wear a seatbelt.
Right, my clothes. Right. How about helmets for your motorcycle or for your bike? Like, that's it. Just enough. And I don't want to harp on it. I'm just like so over it at this point. But
Maria, I'm gonna while you start merchandise, I'm gonna pop into the green room and help one of our guests real fast.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna talk about merchandise.
Okay, I'll be back on for the apron part, so don't go to the apron.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, folks, so we want to remind you that we have merchandise, and lots of our listeners have it already. So what's the story with Maria tote bags? They're $10 each, and they're great. These are great tote bags. They're really good quality, and they're only $10, and they're washable, and the colors don't fade. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Also for $10, we have our mug, or What's the Story with Maria mug. There's me, a much younger version of me on that. Isn't that something? So you don't get this version, you get the younger version. That's what the $10 is for. And go ahead, keep eating on the back there, so you can enjoy your coffee in the morning with this. I sometimes put a little dessert in here, a little whipped cream, and eat that. A little rice pudding, maybe. So that's enjoyable. And we have a competition starting. Actually, it started already. And we have to, as a matter of fact, those people out there, look at, whoa! Someone's doing a shimmy. Leo Rodriguez is doing a shimmy.
That's right. I got my stuff from Suge Avery.
That's right. So here's our apron. It's $25, and it's our piece de resistance. These are the biggest seller of all the stuff we have. So many people have this and have taken pictures of themselves with it that we started an apron only calendar. It's happening 2020. So guys, it's mostly guys. Judy's the only girl.
No, she's not. Isn't there a couple other ladies that are doing it?
So far, only Judy has said that she would do it.
You know why?
Baca's calling in on his phone.
Good. You know why? Because Senator Baca's got.
Okay. Hey, Eddie.
Hey, how are you?
Good, honey. How are you doing?
All right.
Okay.
Am coming through okay?
You're coming through on the phone just fine. Now, what I just raise your voice a little bit, I'm going to get our microphones close to it so we can hear you. Now, Eddie, what we'll do is while we have you here, we're going to pull up pictures of your movie. And first of all, what I want to tell everybody, Eddie and I have been friends for about 30 years, right, Eddie?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Long time. And Eddie has always been one of those amazingly creative people. And now I just noticed, Eddie, I was looking on your Facebook wall, and you have a screenplay. Not only have you written a screenplay, but it's doing incredibly well. And it's called Look Into My Eyes.
Right, that's correct.
Okay, why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Eddie?
All right, I've been working on this for about 8 years. it's a very controversial type of movie. It's very political. If you know me, I'm political.
I know that. I like that
And-
about you, Eddie.
And so it's about these two men. One isn't sure of his own sexuality or what his purpose really in life is. He's from Crimea. His father got killed by Putin during the invasion of 2014.
Wow.
He's out here on a mission, but you're not really clear throughout the movie what that mission is. But he meets this person who owns a sober clubhouse. The story is based on some truths. I did have this experience. And he takes this sober gay guy home, you know, in this taxi. That's what he does for a living.
Right.
And then it just goes from there. It's just about intrigue and love.
And how long is it, Eddie? How is it a feature film?
They ain't really changed that a lot now. What used to be considered shorts are features, but it's around 57 minutes. And
Eddie Baca.
Oh well, that's long enough.
The building on.
Yeah,
that's great. Okay, so Leo is pulling up some stuff now. Okay, on screen. So we have we're seeing motorcycles. These are all scenes from the movie. Watch the screenplay. Okay, so do you want to show some of that, Leo?
And points him to the third floor.
We're going to try to
Interior,
show this so that we can. I don't hear any sound on it yet, but so Eddie, where did you film all this? All in New York, right?
Inside the clubhouse is a coffee and tea counter with condiments.
I tried to rent
scattered
an apartment for a couple days, since most of it takes place either inside the clubhouse or my apartment.
Okay.
Primarily my apartment, but once I told them that I was gonna shoot a movie inside their apartment, they backed out, so I couldn't get it. And so get this, I give this guy who plays my sponsor my credit card and said, there's a 99 cent store. Go buy anything that looks like we can make a dining room, a bedroom, and a living room out of it. And he did. He came back, and we put it together here in the clubhouse when we were closed.
Wow, that's incredible.
Really
that's incredible, and it's won a bunch of awards already, Eddie, hasn't it?
Yes, to my surprise, because it was total chaos every day. We were just making things up as we went along. I allowed the actors to question the language that they had to, act on, and if I agreed with them, we changed it to the way they wanted it. And so after it was over, I just wasn't sure what I was going to look at, but I have a great cinematographer, and he allowed me to be the assistant editor, and I had no idea how powerful editing is. You can make or break an actor. You could make or break a movie, and this man spent 2.5 weeks with me.
Wow.
I went second by second by second, and do you know, after we were done, it looked like a movie, and then I put it out to these film festivals, and to answer your questions, yes, I cannot believe what's happened. I have never won like this in my life. I don't want people to think I'm, all about self and ego and stuff. I have
No, you're not at all about that stuff. But I'm seeing, so watch screenplay movie. Look into my eyes, and how do they get to watch it, Eddie? If they want to watch this movie?
Well, we had to close because of that Delta, and they were, and I'm glad it's coming out in the media. This is another story, but I'm just glad. We were getting scary people coming to the door here.
Wow.
And so anyway, so that. Yeah, and so I put it out to all these film festivals, and you can see we got several awards from Cannes, which
that's incredible, Eddie.
I did it as a goof. And
wow.
then the The other one I did as a goof was to in St. Petersburg, because the film is anti-Putin.
Yeah.
And you know what happened there? It's taken on a life of its own.
Yeah.
So the lesson is, don't always look to LA or Hollywood or New York.
Right. Well, I also saw that a Toronto Film Festival. You know, that's the thing. You just don't know, and there's huge audiences out there now for film. Eddie, let me take a second because I want to welcome some of our listeners that have popped on. Darcy Blakesley has popped on from LA. Hi, Darcy. I miss you too, honey. Marie Sullivan, Baca, same last name as yours, different spelling. And she says, hi from one Baca to another. Julie Angelina from Australia. Hi, Julie. Julie, we got to get you to pop into the show at some point. Can we talk this week? That would be so exciting. And Julie has her own show in Australia. Annette Zito, we're so happy to see you, Annette. Hi, honey. And Bill Goffey has joined us as well. So we got a nice little full house there of friends. So
wonderful.
Yeah, Eddie, we got a really nice following here. And that's why I wanted to, because I, often bounce around to my friends' pages just to see what they're doing. And I was like, Eddie made a movie? How come I don't know about this? So, you're always doing something, Eddie. I can't keep up with you.
Well, that's the story of my life. I always look at what's next. I just do not stay stagnant. I just think, I'm speaking for myself. I'm in recovery. One of the gifts of recovery is that I can move on to something else. If this has come to a closure for whatever reason, I can move on to what's next. And I'm always looking for what's next.
Yes. And you know what, Eddie? I love that you said that. I'm very open about my recovery as well. That's how Eddie and I met. And I got to tell you, Eddie, you are that person. You are that person that always moves forward. Tom Chu has checked in. He says he's at Brandy's now. Tom Chu was my friend, checked in with me earlier. Yeah, Julie, let's definitely work on this. Okay. I'm not just saying it. I want you to be on the show. So Eddie is one of these people that just look, I will say, Eddie, you go with the flow, but you don't just sit there and go with the flow. You're very affirmative action. You're very someone that, yes, you take a step forward but you are someone that gets things done. And I really always admired that about you.
And Maria, let me just say, for those who don't know Maria, I did meet her at, I saw her come in with her friend Susie into a meeting that was on the corner. It was a midnight meeting, and what I wouldn't give for one day to just go back in time and sit through one of those meetings.
Oh, my God.
They were special.
They really were special. We used to meet, Susie and I and another friend of ours were in the show. We do Tony and Tina's wedding. Then we would race up to our midnight meeting. It was our favorite meeting, and we'd all go. And then, Eddie, do you remember what we'd do after that?
Oh,
the diner for hours.
Right across the street. Yeah,
hours on end. We would go to the diner. We would stay up till 4 a.m. just at diners. It was, I agree with you, Eddie. I'd love to go back just for a day.
I know.
It
would just be delightful. And to let people know, you walked in and there was just this cloud of smoke that hung in the air. You could smoke then.
You could smoke back then.
And cleaning ashtrays was considered service.
Yep.
And there was these homeless men that sat on these couches when you walked in. They were there for the coffee and the cookies.
Yep.
And then it had like a church thing, and just some of the most amazing words I had ever heard in my life came from the people there. Yeah,
absolutely. And some of the most amazing things that happened, and people that came through there that are now living in other parts of the country or no longer with us, but how powerful to be in their presence. Right, Eddie?
Yeah, absolutely. What a gift.
Okay, so now, God knows you've had the experience of life, Eddie, and I always appreciate everything that you've been through and that you share with the rest of us. Now, will we be able to see this movie?
Yeah, what I want to do is like on Halloween weekend, either that Saturday or Sunday, I want to have a screening here at the clubhouse before I open up.
Oh, will you let me know.
Oh, I will. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a party. Remember how we
always a party. It's always a party when you're involved, Eddie. I mean, this is another thing about Eddie that's so amazing. Eddie always provides a space for people. Like, I can't tell you how many holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, that Eddie would have these amazing parties at the clubhouse, and we would all go. A lot of us, we could, like, I always work on the holidays, so I can't go home, but I always like to make a meeting before I go to work. And Eddie would have a spread to beat all spreads. And I got to tell you, we always had a family of friends. It was amazing. Yes. Leo has a question. Yes, Leo.
What is this clubhouse that we speak of?
Oh, it's called the 46th Street Clubhouse. We're a 12-step program, and when we were operating at our best 2 years ago, we had close to 70 meetings a week. And we had one room that was just for socializing, where sponsors, sponsees, or whoever, people who needed an escape from whatever could come and hang out here. And then we had the meeting room. And so I'm looking forward to reopening. I just hope and pray that this Delta is really behind us. And I'm glad the news is picking up, because I saw them for a year and a half. All these people who were denied services because the government closed all their human services, and so they're really damaged, and they're quite frightening, just all over the place. I'm not making.
No, I listen. I agree. I was saying it the other day. Like, the whole thing about New York, or I don't know what's happening in other cities, but New York, I can tell you. I said, I've never seen so many people in need of mental wellness services. Yeah, I agree.
But one thing I think that's really awesome is that you guys are doing Zoom meetings for your people that need support, which is really awesome. And I think that if anybody really wants to help you guys get up there, we have the donation page up where they can donate to the 46th
Street Clubhouse. Donation page up too, Eddie. Leo did.
And anybody that's in recovery or wants to support recovery, the website is 46streetclubhouse.com. And I think that everybody should be supporting if they can.
Yeah, it's a great place. It saves a lot of lives, including mine. So I want to thank you for that, Eddie. And keep us posted. Keep us posted on when you're going to show it, because I'd love to see the movie.
Okay, definitely.
I'm super proud of you, Eddie. And we're going to just also, honey, if you have anything that you want to put on my page, like anything I need to know about, just put it on my personal page and I'll put it on the show page. Okay. I was just sending some, and I'm sorry that we couldn't get to work to come through, but I'm glad you called in.
It all works out.
It all works out. And we showed a lot of the images and stuff like that too. So, all right. So the 46th Street Clubhouse, so that's what Eddie runs. And we really appreciate that, Eddie. Okay.
Thank you, sweetheart. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Can't wait. All right. Love you, honey.
Okay.
Leo, thank you so much for doing that. And now to answer Tom Chu's question, Tom Chu, there are many different programs for anything. It is never a bad thing to reach out to a friend and tell them you're concerned about them, ever. So Chauncey Dandridge has joined us. Let me see who else we missed. Dale Marshall has joined us. Tom is at Brandy's now. I'm so glad it's Michael Isaacs. Well, no, Michael Isaacs starts at 9:30, so any minute now. Tonight at Brandy's, if you're in that neighborhood, it's Michael Isaacs on piano, John Satcham, my angel. I love John Satcham. And Allison Nussbaum, I believe.
Oh,
yes, who we love. She's back from doing her shows. Julie Angelina, seriously, private message me. We're going to make this happen. Leo, you are going to love Julie.
Really?
She is Australian, and she's Italian. So she's Italian, but she lives in Australia, and she is fantastic.
So how does that work then? Is there, like, when you do lasagna in Australia, do you have to put it like in a different way? So when you turn it over, it's like the right side for American Italians?
You know what, Eddie? I mean, Leo, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you say, but I will tell you she has kangaroos in her backyard. No lie.
What? Oh, that's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Hi, Jennifer.
Who's that? Jennifer.
Jennifer Pierce.
Hi, Jennifer Pierce. I thought you were going to say Jennifer Pace.
That's what I did too.
She's in Rome as we speak. Jennifer Pace is in Rome with one of her friends, Deshaun. Okay, so Rena Crignali Bergi, she checked in. We know that. All right, so so much happening. So Eddie's movie is called
Look at My Eyes.
Look Into My Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And it really sounds, I mean, not to use his same word, but intriguing. It really does sound intriguing. You see how things take off. Sometimes you don't even know what you've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason that I wanted to have, I try to put people together that there's a theme going on. These are real New York types, prototypes. Eddie is a New Yorker all the way through. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Eddie is Puerto Rican. I forgot to ask him, but it is also this month is a big month. It is Italian Heritage Month, but it's also Hispanic Heritage Month.
Mm-hmm.
So I do want to shout out to my Italians. Happy Columbus Day, happy Italian Heritage Month. Yeah, that was one of my mother's favorite holidays. She came here many, many years ago, and I took her to the parade, and it was incredible. It was incredible. She loved it so much. And the Columbus Day Parade is really special because it's all these artisans from Italy and just beautiful music and all that stuff. And so it's also Hispanic Heritage Month. So there's just so many like films and so much music. And the thing about Hispanic heritage is that there's so many different countries that are represented. So Marcy is Brazilian and Puerto Rican.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought she was Cuban originally, but she is not. So she is an incredible musician. I mean, she does her range is incredible in what she plays, but she does play a lot of really great Latin stuff.
She does. As I was listening, I heard, but
yeah, it's great. Marcy's great. And she's got hustle. Marcy has got hustle. So do we have Marcy Castro with us tonight?
We have, yes, both of our next guests are available, but Marcy is standing by and ready to go.
Let's pop Marcy in first. Marcy Castro!
Hey, Maria.
Hi, sweetheart. Thank you for being available. And I know you were so busy. You're so busy, Marcy. I watch your Facebook page. You are constantly working, honey. And during COVID, you were always making these beautiful videos. And I want to personally thank you because you inspired me. It was great to hear you. And it's always great. And I mean, I love all your stuff, but I love when you do all that Latin jazz stuff. And it's just incredible. Are you going to play something for us tonight, Marcy?
Sure. I just want to tell you what a fan I am of your show.
Oh.
And, we have a mutual friend, and that's how, we've
Lynn Portis Genius
for many years. Lynn Portis, who's an amazing talent. She lives out here in Long Island as well. And Lynn's been very instrumental in getting me some of the gigs I'm doing out here. So I'm very grateful.
She just told me, she's like, yeah, thank you. I love Marcy. She always, she's great. We were talking about you, Marcy, and that we were both saying that you have hustle. And it's my favorite quality in a person. Because, we could sit at home all day long being as talented as ever, but nothing happens. You got to get out there in the world. You got to let people know who you are. You got to step up to the plate, and the chips will fall where they fall. But you have so much hustle, and I really appreciate that about you.
Well, I'm just looking forward to seeing you perform again because it's been many years.
Yeah, I know. I'm at the Stonewall Inn upstairs on Mondays. I'm at the Duplex on Wednesdays, and I am at Brandy's on Fridays.
I'm going to be in the city tomorrow night. I'm going to see the dance concert at City Center with all the Hofstra students. I work at Hofstra University here as a pianist for the dance, and so maybe I'll come down. I'm always looking for something to do.
Yeah, I'll be at the Duplex tomorrow night from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m.
That would be awesome. I will come down.
Yeah, that would be great. I would love
to see you.
Favorite
area of New York. I was advertising on Facebook telling everybody how, you got to tune in because this is a real New York experience. But actually, are you from New England?
Well, I grew up in New England, but I've lived in New York longer than I lived in New England. So
Okay.
I lived in New York
Yeah.
almost 32 years now.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a New York thing we got going on here. So, all right, Marcy Castro, what are you going to play for us?
Well, I don't know.
Joseph Sal.
No,
says,
Joseph Sal is on.
Yeah, he says, Marcy, you look great. Marcy always looks great. And Mary Solito says, go get him, Marcy.
Oh my God. Those
know.
two are like two of the most talented singers. Joe DeSalle. Hold on.
Okay, that's all right. Fix your mic. I know these crazy mics.
Joe is a wonderful opera singer, and we met at Da Marino's, where the restaurant I'm going to be coming back to work at on 49th Street. I can't wait.
Yay! What nights will you be there, Marcy?
I'm not sure yet, but it's if you guys are ever in that area, it's across the street from the Ambassador Theater where Chicago is, and it's downstairs, and it's this wonderful Italian restaurant. It's got. Have you ever been there? No.
No.
Oh, and you'd love it. You'd love it.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Joe DeSalle's from there. Mary Solito is a virtual musician like myself. We met online.
Yeah,
doing
but
things for seniors.
That's how you meet. That's how. Okay. What do you got there, Marcy?
Well, I got something for Leo because he said he likes the song. So yeah. Leo,
thank you.
With a little Brazilian beat. All right. It's wonderful. It's marvelous that you should care for me. It's awful nice. It's paradise. It's what I long to see. You have made my life so very glamorous. Ooh, you can't blame me for feeling amorous. Ooh, it's wonderful. It's marvelous that you should care for me. Shake it, shake it, shake it, Leo. You've made my life so very glamorous. You can't blame me for feeling amorous. Ooh, it's wonderful, it's marvelous that you should care for, that you should care for. It's wonderful, it's marvelous that you should care for me. Do 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 bum 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 ba dum. Do 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 bum ba da da do da do dee.
Marcy Castro, everybody! Wow, beautiful, Marcy. You know what? I didn't realize you were Brazilian. Well, you're Brazilian and Puerto Rican, you said, which are two great, incredible things to be as a musician. I mean, as a person, but as a musician, it really, I mean, you're just infused with all two amazing heritages, right?
Well, my mom, she's the Brazilian.
Yeah, I know. I can tell. Yeah. She's always dancing.
She took me to Brazil when I was 4 years old, and I came back speaking the language. And so I'm very grateful to her. Unfortunately, you know, the Spanish part has come later because of living in Mexico. But so I still don't know Puerto Rico that well, but of course I love the music.
But now, Marcy, you lived in Mexico for a while, right?
Yeah, I got a gig down there at a resort, and it's in Baja, California. It's in Cabo, and I fell in love with the place, and I was smitten, just playing on the beach, and Kenny, my partner, you're going to meet soon. He got to come down and just hang out on the beach while I was working my ass off, but it was great. I just Mexico is a very special place if you've ever been.
I've been to Puerto Vallarta twice.
So
I love it.
Yes,
beautiful. Not recently, many years ago, but And I don't know what the music scene is like down there anymore. I don't know if it's picked up or if they're still being cautious, or, I'm sure it'll pick up again.
Yeah, it's
But-
picking up. Puerto Vallarta has a bar there, a real fun gay bar, Garbo's. That it's just if you ever get to, I love that place. But yeah, Cabo's more just touristy, and people just kind of come and go. They like to come down there and go to Cabo Wabo, which is owned by Sammy Hagar, and so there's not a lot of jazz. But what's very cool is that the Cubans can live down there. They have they're allowed to work down there. So I got around with a bunch of Cuban musicians, and that was they just reek music. Cuban people.
Yes, I agree.
I thought I was Cuban, but I wish I was. Because
I always thought you were Cuban, Marcy. I always thought.
Reek music. They like it's coming out of their veins.
Yeah, actually, one of my favorite musicians of all time. He's Cuban. His name is. He's alive. He's incredible. He's in New York City. His name is Arturo O'Farrell.
Of course.
Oh,
the pianist. Yes, he plays at Birdland. Yeah.
Yeah, and band leader. And I saw him at the Red Rooster.
Oh,
Downstairs.
the Red Rooster in
Oh
Harlem.
my God, in Harlem. Incredible. People don't realize how
There it is. There's
There's
Garbo.
Garbo. Okay. Garbo Puerto Vallarta. Now there's also a Garbo in Rome. And my friend Joe Gullah wrote a play about it. I wonder if it's owned by the same people. Wouldn't that be interesting, right? There's so many amazing. I know my friend Nate Buccieri, he's a piano player. He also plays in Puerto Vallarta quite a bit. And I know there's a whole big scene down there. So that's exciting. Now, your friend Joseph said Marcy Castro is the sirenette of style. So he's a big fan, and everybody's clapping. They were clapping for you, so they really enjoyed that. Now, Marcy, why don't you tell us a little bit about Kenny? Now, you and Kenny's your partner for many, many, many years since I've known you, and I've known Kenny, although I haven't seen Kenny much in the last 15, 20 years. We worked together in Tony and Tina's wedding. He was so much fun. And then I think that's how I met you. I met you through Kenny, and then you and I became friends. And then Lynn Portis knew you and all that. And you two worked together. So,
46th Street Club.
And all right. I'm glad you said it.
That's okay.
It is not for me to out anyone else.
But we've met in lots of places.
And we've met lots from different people.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. There's the infamous Kenny Kramer. So, okay, we are going to bring him on. He's Marcy's partner. He is wild and wacky guy. He's famous in his own right. He doesn't need us girls to make him famous. He's just famous. We're having a little bit. Oh, there he is. Kenny. He's been frozen off and on. So we're hoping that we can get him. I know.
Come on, Kenny. You can do it.
You could do it, Kenny. We was frozen before, but Kenny, okay, so let's tell you. There he is. He's smiling. Can you hear us, Kenny? All right, it's a little bit frozen, I think. So I don't know. We'll fill you in on. Okay, so Lynn Porter goes, "Hey, Kenny." So when I was in Tony and Tina's wedding many, many years ago, this guy came in, and he was part of our show. They used to bring in a lot of celebrities over the years. Kenny, as soon as we got Kenny, you just open your mouth, Kenny, and start talking. In the meantime, I'll fill people in. So we had this guy come in. Everybody's like, who is this guy? He was funny. He was a lot of fun. And they're like, Kenny Kramer. He's the original. Have you seen Seinfeld? It's like, yeah, of course. Everybody loves Seinfeld. He was, Marcy, why don't you tell the story? Which character was based on Kenny and why?
Kramer was based on Kenny. He lived across the hall from Larry David for 5 years. And Kenny was a stand-up comedian who met Larry David. Oh, is he coming in? Hello?
Can you hear us, Kenny? He's frozen still. We're going to keep telling the stories, Kenny, until you pop in.
You have to refresh. So anyway, he met Larry David at Catch a Rising Star and Jerry Seinfeld. And so Kenny helped Larry get this apartment across the hall because Larry had gone to California to work on a show called Fridays, and he decided he wanted to come back to New York and work on Saturday Night Live. And so they live in a building on 43rd Street. It's called Manhattan Plaza. And
Yeah.
so during the time that Larry was living there, NBC approached Seinfeld to create a sitcom, and Jerry Seinfeld thought, all comedians thought that Larry David was brilliant as a writer, and so he said, "I'm not doing this without Larry David."
Mhm.
So they came up with this idea, put a show together about nothing, and they based Elaine on one of Larry's ex-girlfriends, and they based Larry, of course, George, of course, on Larry, and Kramer was based on Kenny.
Kenny Kramer.
And his name is Kramer. They had thought about naming the character Kessler, just to make it easier, to not have Kenny's name.
Right.
And thanks to Jerry Seinfeld, he said, "I don't know what it is. I just like the sound of that name, Kramer."
Right.
And so as the show was like in 90 countries and all over the world and on television, Kenny realized that nobody knows that I exist.
Right.
And he says, I gotta come up with something. And he was always scheming. He really is the Kramer, he always had
Yeah.
inventions. He had invented spotlight jewelry that they would sell at Studio 54 in the 80s.
Wow.
He had, before, how we have the things that light up, but LEDs. Well, he created something so he had made a lot of money on that. And but he decided, I got to come up with something. And so one day he's looking out the window and he sees a tour bus and he goes, "That's it, a tour, a Seinfeld tour." And everyone said, "Really?" And of course, he ran the tour for over 20 years. It's on hiatus right now. Hopefully we'll be getting back doing it again, but it takes all the Seinfeld fans to all the places that are made famous on the show. And he does a whole stand-up thing in the theater, telling a lot of the stories of things that happened in real life that ended up in the show. And people that love Seinfeld love
Oh,
this
that's
tour.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I remember when he was in Tony and Tina's, he was just starting that out. That was like a new venture, and it did really well. I remember that it's always done well, and it's just really a cool thing. So you're right. So that's what I mean by hustle. That's what the show tonight, you got a lot of hustle. Kenny's got a lot of hustle. Eddie has a lot of hustle, so in this town, this New York state of mind is about hustle. If you don't have hustle in New York, you're not going to make it.
I'm very impressed with Eddie's story. The fact that he thought this was like a whim of a movie and it ends up being honored at the Cannes Film Festival. I mean, that's amazing.
I know.
Congratulations to you, Eddie. I know you're listening.
So many. I was looking at Eddie's page. I couldn't believe how many awards it won.
One more time, the title of the movie?
It's called Look Into My Eyes. Yeah. It's a story between a cab driver and a young a gay man in recovery, and Putin.
That's great.
How crazy is that?
That's great.
I know. Well, leave it to Eddie Baca, right? Eddie's so creative, and but he's also so supportive. Like, Susie, my friend Susan Campanero, and I have been writing comedy for many years and he would always come to our show. He's a very supportive guy, and he's always supported artists and things like that. So now, Marcy, what's a typical? Are your places back now? Like,
yeah, they are. Yeah. I'm working at a place called the Westbury Manor on Friday nights in Long Island, and I'm working at a place called Villa di Acqua in Belmore, Long Island, and soon to be back at Da Marino's in the city.
I think, does Lynn work at Villa di Acqua too?
She does, yeah. She works on Wednesdays, yeah.
So you're out in Long Island yourself, right?
I'm sorry?
You're out in Long Island?
Yes, I am. I'm caring for my mother. She's 92
Your mother
years
is
old.
hysterical, by the way.
Yeah, she just loves to dance. She's just
well, she's Brazilian. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Marcy, I got to tell you this quick story. During the Olympics, because it always makes me laugh every time. I was watching the Olympics in Brazil, right? They had the Olympics a few years ago. And the Brazilians, I don't have to tell you, they're like very animated people, right? And they love to dance and they love to carry on. And so they were cheering for everybody, no matter what country, they were screaming, cheering. So finally, there's like a table tennis competition. And it was like South Korea and Japan, to both Asian countries, and they were very, very serious. which of course everybody is, but they're very serious, right? And as they're playing, the Brazilians are up in the stands and they're screaming and screaming. And finally, both teams said, listen, if you don't get those Brazilians to sit down, we can't play because they're distracting. And I just thought because I remember watching it when it was happening, and I'm like, this is hysterical, because they were literally cheering and dancing for everyone. They were so fun. And I have a lot of Brazilian friends, and they are the most fun people. So your mother is the quintessence of that, right?
Yeah, she is. I have to share that in 2012, I got to march in the samba, in a samba group in Rio in the carnival. And I didn't know this. I was working at a restaurant in the city, and there was a patron there, a lady from Brazil, and she said, you can be in the carnival. I said, what do you mean? I thought it was just something set up with the Brazilians, They said, no, you just buy a costume. So you spend like $800 on a costume ahead of time. So your viewers out there, if you want to have an experience of a lifetime, to go down to Rio during carnival, and then you just got to have your costume properly, it's assembled, and then you march. But it's very serious, because I was on the cruise ship, and we stopped there, and and me and this other lady were just kind of putting in like, no, you got to stay in line. When it's the competition, each samba school, they call schools, groups, they're in competition, and then mine came in second, so they had another parade, and then I was able to, everybody was throwing off their hats, and they had
oh my god
in their hands. But the first, the carnival it's a competition, and they're rated on the original song, the theme, is the story coming across. It's a very serious competition.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. No, it's wild. And Leo, do we have any footage of Marcy's mom dancing? Because she can cut a rug. And now, how old is she, Marcy?
She's 92, and she does have a little dementia, enough. But the music is what really,
that's the beauty of it, Marcy. What I love when you post videos of her, because you'll be playing and then she'll just start dancing. And I think to myself, music is so beautiful, because it doesn't matter where you are, what stage of life you're in, music changes everything, and it just makes everything beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, what's been great about this, I mean, I'm sure, who knows if your show would be on like this if it wasn't for the pandemic. I mean, were you doing this before?
You know what, Marcy, that's a great question. And what I was doing before was I was having guests in my apartment, in the studio, and we would just all be, it would be like a wide screen, and they would sit on either side of me, and we would talk about whatever was happening. And then I would cook, which, by the way, we're coming to the cooking portion of our show, which I'm going to do in a minute. And then we would all eat afterwards. And then when the pandemic happened, I remember I was going to have two friends here, and they both were like, do you think we should? What should we do? And I remember another one of our guests called and said, don't do it. It's really getting bad out there. And it was March of 2020. And he said, and I respect this guy, and he was like, listen, I don't think it's a good idea. So what we did was, I was just having people call in like Eddie just did, and we were doing it that way. And then Leo said we should try this thing called StreamYard. And I didn't know anything about it, but we started doing it, and it really, really has been great, because now I can Zoom people in from all over the world. So it's not limited to who's in New York at that time, or who can call in. So I actually prefer this very, very much. Now we're going to take a minute and do the food section of our show. As a matter of fact, Marcy, can you play? Oh, there's your mom. Wait, let's.
Oh, that's us singing.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. You and I. Just the two of us. Building the castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Leo,
it's 40 minutes into the Making Memories video, if you see it on YouTube, but maybe
I'm gonna do the food section first, and then Leo can look for that. Right. But what I love about your mom, because I also you had a video on this week, she was in the car and she was just dancing even in the car. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I love that. I love that music makes everybody happy. Okay, the food section of our show is called Go ahead. Keep eating. Right, Leo? Let's do
That's
it together.
right.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Go ahead. Keep
eating.
eating.
Give me a little underscore there, Marcy.
Ooh, classy dinner.
Today I had a very busy day. So busy I didn't have time to cook my main meal. I was running late. I got stuck in traffic. I stopped at my favorite diner because we were talking about diners with Kenny Kramer and also with Eddie Baca. We're diner people in New York. I got my favorite diner meal of all time. I know. Meatloaf with mushroom gravy and mashed potatoes.
Oh
My
man.
favorite comfort food of all time.
Oh my god.
I know. And then I did make my own salad. And what's in here? We have kale, we have radicchio, we have Brussels sprouts, shredded Brussels sprouts, and then I have some peanuts, almonds, pumpkin seeds, and cranberries. And I'm gonna put a quince pomegranate vinegar on this and a granola olive oil. So I can't wait. That is my fall salad.
What do you think about Brussels sprouts compared to cabbage for your salads?
I like them both. Cabbage, I tend to lean towards cabbage more
Yeah.
because I love coleslaw. So I tend to lean towards that. But I got to say, shredded Brussels sprouts, not so bad.
Try your Brussels sprouts. You can shred them, but shred them with rice wine vinegar and let those soak and have a little slaw with that.
Well, wow, Leo. Now for dessert, my favorite dessert of all time, lemon meringue pie. I'm going all out.
Oh my goodness.
This is my diner meal. If you go to a diner with me, this is what I get. I get meatloaf and mashed potatoes and lemon meringue pie.
We would do that. We would go out after rehearsals for the cabaret with Catherine.
Right? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Marcy Castro, are you feeling another song?
Well, before it gets any, we should bring this guy in.
Oh my God, is he back? Kenny, is he frozen again?
I was in outer space.
You were in outer space, Kenny?
At the moment, but
oh, good. Well, listen, I hope we did you justice. So the tours went on for 20 years, right?
I'm sure you did. 24.
24 years.
In fact, the 25th year, the pandemic year was going to be my retirement, but 25.
Wow.
But we never got to do it.
I know. But, I was watching that video, Kenny. It's amazing what you did. What's that, Ken? Yeah, that's the problem with Ken. It's been frozen. But well, we're gonna keep an eye on what you're doing, and you were frozen. Now you're not. You're back.
Oh,
so we're glad you're here, though, Kenny, because Kenny and I work together.
Yeah, it was really cold out there in frozen land.
Yeah, right.
Nice to be back with such warm people.
Yes, well, we're glad you're back. Andy Prasky says we're talking about we're inspired to have a diner meal tonight, Kenny, because of you, because you go to the diner that you do the tour. What was some of the stops? You did the diner. What was some other stops, Kenny?
I can't believe the Soup Nazi on 55th.
Oh, the Soup Nazi, right?
Greatest lobster bisque.
And I think that place is still here. It's still there, right?
There were a lot of them. There were about 30 different places.
30 different places that
that
they would stop.
Going.
Yeah, I know. Well, Kenny, you're good at that. That's like you're really good at that stuff. So Andy Prasky has joined us. Yeah, it's an amazing story. Well, you know what? You knew. You have great ideas. If
you could go to YouTube.
I wish we had a better connection.
For the real Kramer story.
Okay, yes.
I know.
We got it, and maybe Leo can post it up there. It's called The Real Kramer Story. It's on YouTube, and it's too bad that we have this awful connection. But if people want to go and watch that, it's really, really, really great.
Tourists have trekked to New York City to glimpse historic sites like the Empire State Building Rockefeller Center, and Central Park. But by the late 1990s, a parade of pilgrims were headed to places like Tom's Restaurant, H&H Bagels, and the kitchen that inspired the Soup Nazi.
Now we're going to go out on a bunch of sites made famous on Seinfeld. We're going to have a little reality tour.
The surreal host for this offbeat tour is Kenny Kramer. Like his namesake, Kenny Kramer doesn't have a regular job. However, he has managed to make something out of his connection to a show about nothing. Long before he became the answer to a Seinfeld trivia question, Kenny Kramer was a funny kid growing up in the Bronx.
Wow. So go and watch the rest of that. I watched it this afternoon and I loved it. The real Kramer, right? Yeah, go and watch that. It is so amazing, and it's such a great New York story. So I wish we had a better connection. That's so crazy that we can't get this good connection going. But please go and check out the real Kramer. Lynn Porter says, "Go, Kenny." We all love you, Ken. So and hopefully those tours will come back. That'd be nice. Lori Tower said, "Nice salad." Thank you, Lori. Mario Davila, are you back in town? Mario is our manager at Brandy's. He's an amazing person. He was away for I'm at Brandy's a lot too, Marcy. Maybe you can swing by there. But you're on the weekends. You work, I think, in Long Island. So I think we have about 2 minutes left. Marcy, I'd love to have you play us off we play us another. Yes, sir.
Before we go for Mario, since I want to tell him sin vergüenza, which means without shame. Without shame. Oh, because yes. And thank you. Mario's going to be in our calendar, in our apron. He is going to do it. He's going to do it. That's a mic drop moment right there. Yeah, I know. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you ahead of time. We had a great show. We had a couple technical difficulties, but we plowed through them. Thank you, Kenny Kramer. Thank you, Marcy Castro. Thank you, Eddie Baca. Thank you, Leo Rodriguez. But Marcy Castro is going to play us out. And
I can't wait to see Susan Campanaro live with you. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Monday nights. It's insanity.
Monday nights where?
At the Stonewall Inn upstairs.
I just saw something on Facebook with her doing what was it? Son of a Preacher, man. She was like, oh my God, it was
I taped it last night. It was last night. I said to myself, nobody is going to believe this. Nobody is going to believe this. That's another Leo Rodriguez sin vergüenza, Susan Campanaro. Yes. Without shame. Yes.
All right. A little song from Brazil?
Yes, please. Marcy Castro.
Eis aqui este sambinha feito de uma nota só. Outras notas vão entrar, mas a base é uma só. Essa outra é consequência do que acabo de dizer. Como eu sou a consequência inevitável de você. Há tanta gente por aí que fala tanto e não diz nada, quase nada. Já ouvi dizer que todas as caras no final não sobrou nada, vale nada. And I come back to my one Leo. I must come back to you. Sin vergüenza, I'm gonna play this song for you. Anyone who wants the whole show, Maria, 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 Maria. He will find himself with no show better. Play the note you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Marcy Castro playing us off. She's amazing. Go to her page and follow everywhere that she is. He and Lynn Portis are amazing friends, and they play at a lot of the same clubs in Long Island. Shout out to Marcy's fabulous Brazilian mother. Shout out to Leo Rodriguez, Mario Davila, all our Hispanic friends. It's Hispanic Heritage Month as well as Italian Heritage Month. And God bless you. Come back next week. We're here every Tuesday. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you, Marcy. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Eddie.